Topping today's news, the police looking for a 42-year-old man for questioning in connection with the Palmdale Father's Day murder. The Minister of Health gives an update on the Cuban medical workers and the country's first organ transplant surgery. The Prime Minister says real estate agents costing the government millions of dollars in lost value-added tax collections, and a 5-year-old dies after suffering severe burns in his home on Monday afternoon. This is your JCN Evening News. I'm Jurino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. The Royal Bahamas Police Force held an emergency press briefing at their police headquarters this afternoon to provide an update on the murders which took place on Father's Day, one of which resulted in the death of Reservist Inspector Lennox Williams. Police Chief Superintendent Sharia King shared the following information regarding their investigation into that particular murder.
Police have, or is now presently, following several significant leads into the fatal shooting of Reserve Inspector Williams. We have recovered the vehicle and, like I said, are following significant leads. What I'd like to note or point out to the public is that we're looking for this particular individual, Ronald Telford, as a person of interest in this matter.
Police are asking Bahamians who have any information on the whereabouts of Ronald Telford to call the police immediately. Superintendent King was also asked if police will do anything to increase security in the area where the murder took place, not just for the businesses or the banks, but for the safety of many residents who frequent the Palmdale Plaza.
I think some individuals, some of your media colleagues actually went there yesterday where you saw that they were doing a walkabout in that particular area. That is going to be a consistent thing moving forward from our Northeastern Division, which is headed by Chief Superintendent Monroe. That is already in place. Additionally, what we can say are strategies are being put in place as we speak to ensure that this particular incident does not happen again and that the persons that are traversing that area is safe while they conduct their business.
King said as their investigation continues, police will continue their manhunt in search of 2 other individuals who are also suspected of being involved in the matter. This in addition to investigators searching for the culprits responsible for the fatal shooting of a male on Cordo Avenue and the attempted murder of 2 other men that also took place on Sunday. The Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Michael Dovell, has provided a comprehensive update on the status of Cuban healthcare workers in the Bahamas, highlighting both their ongoing contribution and a significant shift in the government's policy. He recalled a recent high-level meeting between Prime Minister Philip Davis, officials from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. The focus was to address U.S. policies impacting the recruitment of Cuban teachers and medical personnel in the Bahamas.
In country, we have 3 Cuban ophthalmologists assisting with the Cuban Eye program. We have 3 Cuban nurses. We have 10 biomedical engineers from Cuba, 8 lab techs from Cuba, and 11 X-ray technicians that recently completed additional training at the Princess Margaret Hospital. The majority of these workers are scheduled to be deployed to the Family Island as part of my ministry's plan to provide lab and diagnostic services island to island.
Dr. Dovell confirmed that all further recruitment exercises for Cuban teachers and healthcare workers are currently on hold, pending ongoing talks between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and U.S. officials. The pause comes after a media report in April, including a leaked document alleging that a Cuban state company was retaining up to 92% of funds paid by the Bahamas to the Cuban medical staff. These reports prompted the Trump administration to renew its crackdown on such programs.
After fruitful negotiations, we are prepared to cancel all existing contractual agreements and enter into a direct contractual agreement with Cuban healthcare professionals currently in the Bahamas. Those who agree to these terms will sign the new employment agreement by my ministry and remain in country for deployment across the Family Islands. Those who are not interested in this new arrangement will be given time to wrap up their affairs and return to Cuba.
If the transition unfolds, the ministry will continue to recruit specialist nurses and allied health professionals from Africa, the Philippines, and India to stabilize short-term needs while increasing training opportunities for Bahamians in the healthcare sector. In other news on the health front, the Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Michael Darville, also on Monday announcing that tomorrow, June 18th, the Princess Margaret Hospital will perform a live donor kidney transplant on a Bahamian patient. The historic procedure will be carried out by the hospital's lead consultants in collaboration with 3 transplant surgeons from Trinidad and Tobago and Barbados. Dr. Darville says this landmark surgery marks the official launch of the Ministry of Health's long-awaited National Kidney Transplant Program.
It's been a long journey to get to this point, but thanks to our collective efforts and final preparations, the program will be launched this week at the Princess Margaret Hospital, led by 2 Bahamian specialists in support of some colleagues in the Caribbean.
Dr. Darville credited years of planning by the Ministry of Health and Wellness and the dedicated work of the clinical team at the Princess Margaret Hospital. He also thanked the Prime Minister for his support. Dr. Darville also emphasized that transplant surgery is a complicated process.
Let me be clear, Mr. Deputy. Kidney transplantation is not a simple medical procedure, nor is it a cure. It requires a lifelong commitment for patients and donors and the healthcare system. Post-transplant care, including rejection medication, is rigorous and requires strict adherence to medical protocols and medications. However, the reward, the chance at a renewed life is immeasurable.
The health minister thanked all current and future living donors for your courage and generosity. Dr. Darville stressed that this program will become a vital part of the country's long-term strategy to reduce the incidence of end-stage renal disease here in the Bahamas. Police continue their investigation into the death of a 5-year-old boy who died in hospital after suffering severe burns about the body on Monday while at home. Police say the children's mother had left her 4 children in the care of a relative who fell asleep. The other 3 children remain in hospital today being treated for burns about the body. During an emergency press conference today at the police headquarters, Police Chief Superintendent Sharia King was asked to give an update on the police investigation into this tragic incident.
The 3 children that are presently in hospital are in stable but critical condition, and we are monitoring those as well. Fire investigations have conducted their investigation into this matter, and all witnesses, all persons responsible or was there at the time will be interviewed and to determine how did this tragic incident happen, unfortunate incident happen.
And just a follow-up.
Superintendent King strongly urging residents to always take into consideration the safety of children when keeping them at home, especially while they are out of school for the summer break.
Because this is the summer months. School has closed. Many children are at home. Parents, adults, make certain that your children are left with trusted adults. Make certain that you continuously keep those tender age children always in your sights and looking after them and not leave them to their own as the summer months go on. So I want to urge, after this unfortunate incident, I want to encourage parents to constantly be vigilant during these summer months.
According to King, fire services still conducting their investigation as to determine how that fire started in that home yesterday. And finally, in this segment, Prime Minister Philip Davis, during debate on the fiscal budget, addressed concerns that there has been an underperformance of value-added tax collection in the real estate sector, despite efforts like amnesty periods to assist those that owe the government taxes. He revealed the following.
From the public utterances of the real estate professionals, the Ministry of Finance has estimated that government is being deprived of at least $100 million a year in annual revenue, with most of it, if not all, related to foreign purchases of Bahamian real estate. In this budget, we are proposing a comprehensive set of measures to address this leakage.
He says the underreporting of real estate transactions in regards to value-added tax on property sales is also concerning for the government. The Prime Minister said this act of underreporting is one of the obvious forms of leakage that cause underperformance in value-added tax collections. He spoke on the repercussions that will result.
Accurately. The proposed amendment to the VAT Act provides penalties for underreporting, including in the most extreme cases, an application to the Supreme Court for forfeiture to the Treasury.
Mr. Davis said improvements to the various processes and new technology will help the government identify more accurately instances of underreporting real estate transactions. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back following these commercials.